Good morning. For those of you I haven't met, my name's John Fogarty and I'm the CEO of Royal Freemasons, a role which I've held since May this year. I wanted to talk to all of our residents, our staff, our residents' families and all of the other key members of the Royal Freemasons family today to advise you of some changes that will be occurring in our organisation over the coming months as we seek to continue the long tradition of serving the community of Victoria, a tradition which started back in 1867. The Board of Royal Freemasons has undertaken a strategic review of the services we provide across all our business lines: residential aged care, retirement living and home care. This review was to assess the adequacy of our services in the light of the upcoming reforms in funding, in the regulation of aged care by the government, and the various changes that are happening in society with regard to aged care and with regard to our ageing population as we look to continue to serve the community of Victoria for the decades ahead. As part of this review, the board has arrived at a decision that it will need to adapt and change some of the services we provide over time to ensure that we're adequately providing for the needs of the people who seek our care. The review has come to a position where we now think that our residential aged care services and our retirement living services are not of a sufficient size or scale for us to be able to adequately meet the needs of our residents and our other clients in the future. So the board, as part of the finalisation of this review, has agreed and decided to transfer some of our assets, some of our facilities to other providers of aged care services who are more adequately set up to meet the needs of our residents in the future. Our primary focus is on the needs of our residents and ensuring that what our residents receive in terms of care is exactly what they require during their time with us in Royal Freemasons. As part of this process, over the past few months, we've received some expressions of interest for some of our assets and some of our services from highly experienced and highly regarded aged care providers. The board and trustees have assessed those expressions of interest and have now agreed to allow some of those providers to take a more detailed review of the services that they are interested in and then to provide us with a final binding bid to take over those services. The board and trustees will review whatever comes in from this process and then decide whether it's appropriate, based on the provider's reputation, experience and the way that they provide care to their residents in their other facilities, to transfer some of our facilities across to new providers. While this process is going on, we will continue our commitment to providing the best possible service and the best possible care to our residents and our clients, be they in retirement living, residential aged care or receiving their care at home from us. As the process moves forward over the next few months, we will continue to provide you with updates on a regular basis so that everybody who is a stakeholder, be it resident's family, our staff, the unions, peak bodies, the government and the aged care regulator, remain fully informed of the progress that we are making. Any excess proceeds that come from the sale of any of our assets, once we've retired some outstanding debt, will be used to reinvest in the services that we will continue on in Royal Freemasons. The Coppin Centre, where it all began in 1867 on the corner of Mowbray Street and Punt Road here in Melbourne, will remain within Freemasons' hold for the foreseeable future. Coppin Centre sits on a Crown grant which was exercised and given to Freemasons back in 1867 to provide care for those who needed care and who couldn't find a home back in those early days of our community here in Victoria. We look to continue that tradition as we move forward in different ways, and the Coppin Centre will be the base from which we develop our new services for the future. As I said, we will continue to communicate with all of you, but if you have any questions in the meantime, please contact the person who you most normally would contact about queries you have, be it the facility manager at your facility or your care coordinator if you're in home care. I'd like to thank you for your time today and for listening to the news of this new strategic direction, and I look forward to keeping you informed in the days, weeks and months ahead.